It is definitely hard to be patient and wait for Congress to send out the fourth stimulus package, especially folks as the crisis just continues to negatively impact millions of Americans. But there are economists and advocacy groups that are urging President Biden to send out more relief. That's very, very good news. But without more stimulus money, we need to realize that many people, including our seniors, are in risk of falling back into poverty. That's something that cannot be happened, especially with President Biden. Tell me in the comments down below, everybody, what are your thoughts on President Biden? Hi, and welcome back to the channel. If you live in any of these states that I'm about to list, then you can expect to receive an extra $1,200 stimulus check in just a couple of days.
I look forward to our taking advantage of advances in science on this, that there is a pill that will be able to intervene in early stages, and we want to have the resources available to do that. The issues before the Supreme Court will be very important. As two cases there, one about healthcare workers, one about the president's mandate for going beyond healthcare workers.
Cities across the country, in states like California, New York, and even Florida, have also confirmed a new stimulus program. They'll provide residents with $12,000 in payments. This is especially great news for all of you. So, continue watching this video if you want to know the latest news about Social Security payments, SSI, ssdi, RRB, VA benefits, and Social Security, and fourth stimulus checks of $2,000.
Some additional financial relief may be coming to 69 million Americans who collect Social Security. Advocacy groups project that they are on track to get a 6.1% cost of living adjustment, the biggest increase since 1983, and it comes as pandemic restrictions ease, causing a jump in inflation, with prices rising for everything from gasoline to groceries.
Now, we all know with the crisis still negatively impacting the country, many Americans are eagerly waiting for the fourth stimulus checks to arrive in their bank accounts. That is very, very good news. The Franchise Tax Board has actually confirmed the latest round of $600 stimulus checks. That's going to be sent out this very week. This is thanks to the multiple states and the crisis stimulus programs. For instance, in the state of California, Gavin Newsom announced his stimulus recovery plan, and it's intended to send extra stimulus checks of $600 and even $2,000 to eligible residents. You can expect to receive more stimulus checks if you live in California. But if you don't live in California, here's what you have to know. Your stimulus money should be arriving very, very soon. If you do not receive a check within the next few weeks, then you may have to wait for the Franchise Tax Board to make an announcement. It's sending out the fourth stimulus relief check, and it will be sent out to eligible residents. These payments are to help support people in the state of Maine who have worked amid the crisis. These payments will be worth up to $285, which is a pretty good sized check. You are eligible if you have filed a Maine income tax return for the year of 2020.
The latest from Capitol Hill now, where Democrats are scrambling to finalize the president's social spending plan before he leaves for Europe tomorrow. Democrats are still figuring out how to pay for it all. The latest idea is a billionaire's tax targeting or a tax proposal that would target the wealthiest Americans.
And was a resident of the state for the full year of 2020. You must also have received wages, salaries, or other taxable employee pay for the year. In addition to that, you cannot be claimed as a dependent on another taxpayer's income tax return for 2020. That cannot happen. If that does happen, you won't receive a stimulus check. There is also some good news for those of you that are residents of Maryland. The Maryland Relief Act of 2021 has just started to send out stimulus checks in 2022. Families are set to receive $500 and individuals receive $300 if they filed for the Earned Income Tax Credit. So that's states like California, Maine, and even Maryland sending out more stimulus payments. But we're not done yet, folks. Because more stimulus checks from other states and cities are being sent out. If you're a teacher, you may be eligible for extra stimulus money. Florida will be distributing stimulus payments for first responders and educators who work with students. Teachers and principals are eligible for payments up to $1,000. In the state of Georgia, they have also implemented a similar policy. If you are a teacher or a principal, expect an $1,000 stimulus check. Tennessee will also be doing the same with $1,000 hazard pay bonuses and $500 to part-time educators. Now, it's great to see that many states and cities across the country are sending out their own stimulus checks, but it's going to be great if President Biden does the same. If President Biden's able to send out more stimulus checks, that would be very, very great. But folks, it just seems to me that President Biden is taking too long to send out stimulus checks. He needs to do a better job in sending out stimulus payments. It's definitely necessary. He cannot hold the stimulus checks back. Joe Manchin must do a better job as well in sending out more stimulus payments and at least trying to get negotiations approved with the fourth stimulus bill. If you guys agree that it has to be done, tell me in the comments down below.
All right. Anyway, I hope everyone got some sleep. I got a little bit, not as much as I'd like, but good. So this was one of the most significant legislative days we've had in a long time here in the United States Senate. But we still have a long road to travel. It's as if we caught a pass, a nice long pass at midfield, but we still have 50 yards to go before we score a touchdown. But it's still good to make that pass and make that advance. What we saw yesterday is very simple. That elections matter, the American people's votes matter, and Democrats are working hard to keep the promises we made to the American people when we won the majority. Earlier this year, as you know, we passed the American Rescue Plan, which helped put checks in people's pockets, shots in people's arms, and save small businesses and our economy. Now we're going from rescue to recovery, to make the economy, to make the American people's lives even better than it was before COVID, because there were so many structural problems in our economy, and there became a sourness in the land that we very much want to remove. The two-track strategy, which I outlined earlier this year, is moving full steam ahead. When I first said we were going to pass both the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the budget resolution before we broke for the August recess, many said it was an impossible task. But Democrats in the Senate are determined, fiercely determined, to move President Biden's Build Back Better agenda forward. Sometimes it took a little prodding. It took working weekends, late nights, cloture motions. But we kept working at it. I kept prodding the bipartisan group to go forward, pushing them when they needed pushing, giving them more time and breathing space when they needed more time and breathing space. And that bill passed yesterday. But now we have to keep working at it, and I'm very pleased to report that the two-track strategy is right on track. As I said, first we passed the bipartisan infrastructure package with